everyone, I'm Clarke-Whyne, and I'm here to tell you about the story behind my newest single that's coming out in Everything Give Thanks. So I'd like to just kind of share with you my musical journey in a quick nutshell. I started doing music from a very, very tender age. My mother actually sent all three of us as her kids to music lessons. I'm the only one who kind of really took it a little further. And so I started playing the piano from around started going to piano lessons from about age 6, 7, thereabout. So I started singing on the church choir, playing the keyboard for church. I also entered like JCDC festival, the festival that all the high school and primary school students go to. Getting a couple gold medals, a couple silvers and some bronze too, you understand. And right around the time when I was about to leave high school, or a little bit before heading into grade 11, my mother had me end up doing C-set music. Oh God, C-set music. But anyway, I did C-set music. I get a grade. I passed. And then right after that, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. But mommy sent me to college, to the Clarke University College. And I went there and I did music education and library studies. Finish up that, went to teach music. After I finished teach music at a school in St. James called Spot Valley High, I went on study leave and I went to Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. This was where I developed a newfound love for music, right? Oh, by the way, when I was at Michael, I used to sing on the Jamaica Youth Chorale. And then, doing all that nice classical music. Oh, yeah, man. But then I went to Michael and Edna Manley, and I started doing, being introduced to jazz and just different genres of music. And listen, I really fell in love with jazz. I got even a chance to perform at the Jamaica Jazz and Blues Festival talent stage. And man, that was an experience. I believe that was 2014. And so I really started considering music. And I was thinking maybe I'm going to be a jazz artist or something. Go to these jazz festivals, maybe in New Orleans and wherever else, all these jazz festivals are held. I also started singing in a group called The Conquest. And afterwards, The Conquest people migrated and we just kind of separated somewhat. And after The Conquest, the producer for The Conquest, Rick Roy Williams, he wanted us to do some work. And we started working on stuff. And then I just never sure what I want to do in my life, musically. And so I stopped again. This was around 2014, 2015. I went back to Montego Bay. I felt out of it. Maybe I just wasn't doing music anymore after experiencing all that stage while at Edna. Came back to Kingston. And I'm going to fast forward the story. 2018, I started lecturing at the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. And I met a student, one of my students, Johnny Davis, who is known as Minister God Artist. And he was sharing with me that he has a manager called Dexter Johnson Jr. Now, I didn't know nothing about Dexter like that, right? I don't even know about manager and all them things. Say you need a manager if you're going to do the music thing professionally and so on. But I sent a message to Dexter in 2018, December, and the man took 2 weeks to answer me. Listen, you see that 2 weeks period there, I feel shame. Because I say, suppose him text me back and say, him can't do this, But I guess he prayed about it and the Lord told him, yeah man, proceed with the little raw talent, and thing. And so I started working under Dexter's management and so on. Of course, we have Javis McIntosh, Pioneer Music's headman, the producer of Pioneer Music. And, Javis had an interest also in just helping to develop and honing, this talent as I wanted to just give it to God. Because yes, there were opportunities to become the jazz artist or what have you, but that's not where God wanted me to be. God wanted me to use my talent to bring honor and glory to his name. And I can tell you, there are so many times I just feel like, oh, this is not for me. This is not for me. It has And then, kind of speechless. Dexter, my husband, my best friend Deidre, them tired for hear it. But we can do this music thing, this and that and whatever. But God has been so good to just place all these people who have come along on the journey to just make it happen. I don't know. There are days when I feel like maybe this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I should just go and lead worship at my church. And just, every Sunday when I lead worship, this is what I'm called to. But clearly, God has called me to more than this, and He keeps placing the various people in my life. And so, this is my encouragement, really, that the people who keep coming, last year, 2020, we had like Bluesick Filmworks saying, hey, let's do some work with you, and then we have Royal Enterprise Company and SG Productions, and we have the Pioneer Music, and we have the Crosslinks Production, and now we have the Dane Keys Music, and we have the New Wine Band. Like, it's all pointing to doing it because the Lord is making the provision. And so, the journey continues. I'm just at the beginning. People message me on Instagram from time to time, and it's like they feel like, boy, I've been doing this thing a long time, but I don't do this thing a long time. It's just the start of the journey, and I'm excited to share this journey with you all. If I wasn't so I wouldn't understand grace, yeah. So I'll endure the suffering and endure the shame, because in everything I've learned to give thanks. Come on, so I'll boast in the pain, boast in the rain. I'll worship His name. The single is pretty much near and dear to me. Like, I guess many songs for other, artists and songwriters. But last year, which would have been 2020, my husband and I were looking forward to having our first child. And unfortunately, we had a miscarriage. That miscarriage happened in a period where my dad was also about to do a major surgery, and it was just really a rough period, just really managing, going through what my body was going through, losing a child, and also just being there as a support system for my mother and my father and my family by extension. I remember one night after leaving the hospital, I went home and I was lying in bed, and the lyrics of the song came to me. If I didn't know chaos, I wouldn't understand peace. If I didn't get downhearted, then I wouldn't understand joy. It takes a test to understand the testimony. We have to go through something so that we can testify. If you're never in need, how can you say that God is a provider? He will provide, yes, but if you don't have a need and then He provides, then how do you testify of the provision of God in your life? And so the lyrics really just came to me at that point, and I just started typing in my phone. People use pen and paper to write, but I just grabbed the phone because it was the easiest thing to grab at the time. And my husband also helped me with a few of the lyrics. But it was just beautiful what God was just downloading in my spirit at that time, and a word of encouragement to people to say, hey, in everything give thanks, boast in the pain, boast in the rain, just like Paul said it, that the power of God is made perfect in our weakness. All right, so I'm going to talk about the journey of the song now. This song pretty much just went through the same struggle that I went through. We recorded the song. We had the musicians Dexter Johnson Jr., who played drums, Aaron Brown, who played keys. We had Javon Jones, who played guitar for us, and Jonathan Fogel, who played bass. And of course, the producer, Mr. Javis McIntosh, who did some auxiliary keys and some other stuff on it. But after we recorded the song and we went to Crosslinks studio now for me to do my vocals, it was a rough period. Like Javis McIntosh from Pioneer Music, he will milk your voice. Yes. And you know, we're there and it was a struggle to sing the first couple lines. Took almost 2 hours to get the first couple lines. Call it what you will. But we did it. And I cried. I was pregnant while recording the song, by the way. But it just never worked out. It never worked out at all. And I went home the evening. Javis sent me home and we came back another time. And oh, before we even go back the other time, let me tell you something. One day Dexter called me. Dexter called me and said, "Artist, I don't know how to break this news to you, but we can't find the file with you I sing. Me I sing." Listen, man, people, when they go back and sing the song and the song sort out, you know. Sort out. After the first time when we cry and go home because the song wasn't working out, we went back into the studio, recorded the song from top to end, and they can't find the file. And at this point, I was like, okay, and not making jokes about miscarriage, but I said the song has had a miscarriage. But I would have to attempt it again because I attempted other things again. So we attempted the song again. And this time I had curry goat before going into the studio. Curry goat from up Tasty, Crossroads, yeah. And I tell you, we went in the studio and in one session, the song was finished. Listen, man, I tell you, the curry goat and Jesus made the song finish. So as you prepare your hearts and your ears to listen to this song, I really pray that you'll be blessed by it. I really just want to make sure that I shout out the people who made the project what it is. I've called some of the names before. I'll just call it again because I like calling their names. We have Javon Jones, our guitarist, who played in it. We have Aaron Brown, who played keys. Javis McIntosh, who added some auxiliary keys. We have Jonathan Fogel, who played bass, and Dexter Johnson, who played drums, and amazing BGVs on this song. I tell you, people, listen, them bad, like in a good way. You know, say people bad at Jamaica? Yeah, man. But we have Mario Thomas, who did the tenor, of course. We had Samantha Thompson, who did the nice alto that you'll hear, and Jason Campbell, who, with our nice, sweet soprano voice. Listen, man, the people, them is like, they're amazing. So, yeah, just want you to know that, be encouraged that everything that you go through, there is a reason for it. There's a reason for the cause so that the effect can happen. And remember, as 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 18 says that in everything give thanks, because this is the will of God concerning you in Christ Jesus. I was made perfect in my weakness. I'll worship His name. Give